Are EV drivers evading taxes? Hey guys, Blake here from Go Big Tesla. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about some legislation that has been presented to my home state of Utah. In the coming years, they want to get rid of the gas tax, and they want to charge every single vehicle that drives on Utah roads for the mileage that they drive. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've never actually heard of a tax going away. So would they really get rid of this gas tax, or would they just, add this mileage tax in addition to that gas tax? Now, there's a couple ways that they're planning on tracking your mileage to tax you. The first one is to install GPS trackers in everyone's vehicle, which to me that seems like an invasion of privacy, number one. Number two, they're planning on every year when you register your vehicle, checking your odometer and then charging you that way. And then the third way that they're planning possibly doing it is by a phone app that would follow your location, which again, if that location has to be on all the time, then that's even more of an invasion of privacy than the tracking in your car. Now here in Utah, charging EVs for the roads has kind of already been a thing. This last year, legislation was introduced and actually passed that charged EV drivers a fee every year for driving on Utah roads. I'm going to read an excerpt from this news article from the Deseret News, and it says, thanks to line item in 2018 legislation bill that made sweeping changes to Utah Transit Authority and future transit project funding, owners of the 3,588 registered all-electric vehicles in Utah will be ponying up a $60 fee starting January 1, intended to recoup revenues lost at the gas pump. And the state's 38,000 or so hybrid vehicles will be on the hook for $10 if they're rolling in a standard hybrid, or $26 if it's plugged-in model. Also, all those fees are scheduled to escalate annually until 2021, when vehicle owners will pay $120 for their electric vehicle, $20 for hybrid, or $52 for plug-in hybrid each year at registration time. Now, for me personally, I feel like the timing is very wrong on this legislation. Currently, like I read, about only 3,500 vehicles in Utah are electric. So why is the legislation going after this very, very small portion of the population that is trying to help the environment and help make our air, which is historically very bad and is very bad, better? So for me, that just doesn't seem like the right timing for Utah legislation to be freaking out and saying, oh, they're evading taxes, they're not paying the road tax, we need them to pay taxes on the road. Now, maybe 50 years from now, 25 years from now, 5 years from now, who knows when the population will switch over more fully to electric vehicles. Maybe once there's about 50%, 60% of their cars on the road are EVs, I could see saying, okay, now something needs to be done. These cars are contributing to the road degradation, and we want to be able to provide good roads to drive on. Now, right now, I say no, this is not a good time for this legislation. A few years from now, maybe so. I think it really comes down to we want to encourage people to transition to electric. We want to encourage people to get these hybrid vehicles. No, we don't want them to get hybrid. We want them to go all electric. That's the goal, right? Is that we switch completely over to a sustainable future. And for me, personally, I just feel like this legislation couldn't come at a worse time. This is the time when people need incentive to really switch and to change. There's not as many forward thinkers as we really need. Now, this proposed legislation is proposing a 1.5 cent per mile driven tax. Right now, Utah's gas tax per gallon is about 30 cents a gallon. So you think that most cars get on average around 30 miles to the gallon now. So that would be, right about in line, maybe even a little bit more so than is being charged right now. I really want to hear what you guys think. Do you feel like this is going to be detrimental to the world's transition to electric vehicles? Do you feel like this is fair that, every vehicle should be charged the same for their mileage driven on the roads? Really, I just want to know what you guys think. Comment down below. Now, I sent these questions to my friend Megan on Twitter, and she's the event coordinator for the Utah Tesla Club, so I figured she would have an opinion about this, and this is what she said. Now, I really loved what Megan had to say. She said, I think it's frustrating.
Utah has significant issues with clean air and have advertised our Clean Air Act, but don't do much to incentivize those of us trying to participate in clean energy. I understand EV don't pay gas tax, which go towards fixing the roads, so something has to replace it. But unless everyone is paying the same way, it's not going to be fair. If they want to charge a flat rate, everyone should pay the flat rate and taxes should be reduced at the pump. Alternatively, paying per mile is geographically unfair as well. I put 14,000 plus miles on my car, and the majority of those miles were not in Utah. Whereas paying at the pump, the state whose roads were used received the taxes. Utah instead wants to claim all my usage. I don't know what the solution is, but it does seem to be working against Utah's Clean Air Act initiative, as there aren't enough EVs on the road just yet. Now would be the time to incentivize people to switch, not stunt the growth with taxes that don't make sense. My brother Dallin Gale said it best though. While I agree that right now the 1% of EV owners isn't making a big difference in the gas tax income, as the number grows, it eventually will. While we'd all love to pay no taxes for anything but still get everything for free, it can't work like that. Something like this was inevitable. It's just too bad it's happening so early, especially in a state that claims to be trying to clean the air.
If you guys enjoy the content that I'm able to provide on this show, please consider subscribing. Please watch my first video, watch my second video, watch my third video. I'm still a new growing channel and your support really helps. Hit that bell notification and I'll see you guys next time.